Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Is that a restaurant around there? Oh.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We have a few moments here before it's time to get this show on the road. And Jerry, I'm over here. I'm trying to manage Facebook, do the presentation, make sure our special guest we have on here, Mr. David Ocasio from Kessler Financial, take care of him. Rita Bailey is broadcasting. She may have to leave. She's at another location, but we can get through this. So y'all just have to, Rita, I can't find us on Facebook.
Hey, Tawana. Good morning. You see how she said all that? I got to do this. She just like make it seem like she got to do everything.
Hey, Tawana. Yes.
She working for a change, y'all.
Yeah, she left me with the hard part. She knows I don't know what I'm doing on Facebook. Okay, I think I found it.
Good morning, everybody. I'm live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, y'all. I feel like this is where God is. I think it's a trillion churches, mega churches, everybody over here. All righty, darling.
I'm so glad you're live. Yeah, we're live on Facebook. I got us up.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I'm very happy about that.
Very
happy about that. So welcome, everybody.
Oh yeah, she on there, y'all. She on there. She made it, y'all.
Welcome back, Tawana. Happy Friday. This is a happy Friday here in our area in the Washington, D.C. DMV. It's a little rainy outside. We're expecting a rainy day today. But on the inside with us at Financial Fair Fridays, it's always a sunny day. So we're going to bring the sunshine in the midst of all of the clouds out there today. Welcome. Who else just joined us?
We have some callers online, darling.
Welcome on the phone. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome, Facebook, for all of our Facebook watchers. Excuse me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, Rita, my clock says it's 10 o'clock.
Mine says 9 o'clock, but I think it's the same as your 10 o'clock.
Yes, because you're an hour behind us, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yes.
Get a little bit first, because it's Financial Fair
Friday. I can't hear the music, but I'm just hearing it in my head.
Oh, you can't? What in the world? Okay, let me see if I can fix that.
Just dance, y'all.
Can y'all hear it now?
Just go to the next slide. You know, It's Friday, y'all. Just go to the next slide.
Yeah, girl, because I don't know what I'm doing. But it's Financial Fair Friday, everyone. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, everyone, to the live webinar. We have a special guest with us today, Mr. David Ocasio from Kessler Financial. Welcome, David. Again, thank you for being here with us. This is Financial Fair Fridays, everyone, and this is the webinar that we do each and every Friday morning at 10 a.m., and we're broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook Live. So welcome, Facebook. Thank you all for joining us, those of you that are on Facebook. And during the Financial Fair Fridays webinar, what we're doing is we're pulling back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your federal benefits, because we talk to everyone, but we're also giving all working people best retirement investment options. So don't keep us a secret. You're coming every week. You're getting good information. Share us with your friends, family, coworkers, because guess what? You're on here. You're getting prepared. They may not be getting this information, and guess who they're going to be coming to in retirement? So you want to pass this information on. So Tell them to register at www.ritabrolandevents.com, or you can go to Facebook and like us at Your AB Solutions on Facebook. Now, the whole purpose of our Financial Fed Friday series is just to help you understand your benefits, your money, your spending habits, your financial personality, and what Rita and I want to do, and the whole Affordable Benefits team is just to offer support and solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destinations. And I apologize, I haven't properly introduced myself. I'm Darlene Jenkins, and my partner there in Tulsa, Oklahoma
is Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Rita B. Rowland, and we make up the team at Affordable Benefit Solutions. We have on Facebook our partner, Dr. Javon Jackson, and also Mr. Robert Bailey. Many of you that call into our office, you get to talk to him. So that's the whole purpose. I just wanted to shout out our ABS team. And of course, as I said prior, we also have Mr. David Ocasio from Kessler Financial with us today. Woo! Woo! David, that was your cue to say, hey, well.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So let's just jump right on into it. Now, this webinar, we do it every week. However, we have to keep it general in nature. Why? Because we don't know everyone's situation that is here on the webinar or watching us from somewhere around the country, excuse me, on Facebook. So without individual knowledge of your situation, we cannot individualize this presentation. But you know what we can do? If you reach out to us, you give us a call in our office or email us, we can individualize this information and put together a roadmap for you. So thank you so much for understanding. So let's just jump right into this information. June, we're paving the road towards retirement. That's what we're doing. This month in June is annuities month. So what we're doing is we're talking about storm-proofing your retirement. You know, this is hurricane season. And so we are in, we have to, just like we storm-proof our homes, we have to storm-proof our money as well, especially for those of us that are nearing retirement. So what we're doing is we're helping you weatherproof against the perfect storm that is brewing. There's a storm coming for your retirement money. And these are the things, the potential tsunamis that can come and wipe you out. Last week, we talked about inflation. This week, we're going to be talking about the sequence of returns. This is going to be an ongoing series. Next week, we're going to talk about the stock bubble. How many of you right now feel like, hey, we may be in that stock bubble? The bond bubble for my conservative investors. Longevity. We're living much longer. And then, of course, the 4% rule. We'll get into that. You're in retirement. How do you get your money? But today, as I said, now I'm going over the second impact to your retirement funds, and that is the sequence of returns. You may say, well, Darlene, what does that mean, the sequence of returns? And David, please jump in. If I missed something, I'm going to throw it to you.
Thank you, Darlene. And yeah, the sequence of returns, it's not a concept that's spoken about much because most of the financial service industry doesn't have a viable tool for the distribution phase when you retire. Everything's great when your money is growing, when you're contributing to it. You're going to be in mutual fund stocks or your qualified plans. Whatever the stock market does, whatever the S&P does, particularly, it's going to go up and down. You expect that. However, you have time on your side while you're working. So you could weather those storms. But once you hit retirement and the distribution starts, a couple of bad years can totally derail your retirement. So another way said is during distribution, during retirement, you don't have time to weather these storms. And we're going to show you a chart that kind of illustrates that.
Right, exactly. So as we look at it, as we said, the biggest risk, the biggest risk, as David said, to your accumulation is volatility. So if we just look at this chart and we're going to look over a 30-year period. So from 1980, and if we go all the way down to 2009, 2010. So let's assume this person, and stop me if I miss anything, we're following the returns of the S&P 500. And we're going to say that you started with $1 million, okay? So over this time frame, and I'm just going to move this up, you all, so I can see. So over this time frame, you see at the end here, the ending balance is $11 million. That's what you end with. Now, I want to ask you a question. What do you think? So you're working these are the gains that is taking place in the S&P 500. What do you think would happen if we reverse these gains? Type in real quick.
Right, Darlene. So this is the actual numbers of what the actual S&P did. And you could see some great years there. You know, I'm looking at 26, but you also have some negative years, negative 38, negative 9. That's exactly what the S&P does. We're looking at a 30-year block of time there. Now, what Darlene is mentioning is, what if we flip those years, flip all those returns? What do you think is going to happen with the ending number? You start with $1 million and we rattle up all the returns. So Darlene, can you just go ahead and click so we can see it?
Well, let's give them a chance, David. You all type in real quick. What do you think is going to happen? So right now, you see what the actual S&P did over the last 30 years. So we're going to flip the returns. But when we flip the returns, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the ending value is going to be more or less? Type in real quick and let me know. More, you can just put more, less, same. What do you think is going to happen? Jeannie said it's going to be more when you flip it. Who else out there? You all are, I mean, this is important for, some people said it's, Tawana said it's going to be less. Jerry said it's going to be more. So let's actually see what's going to happen. Soon as I can get everything working again, y'all. So we're flipping the returns, right? And the ending value is the exact same.
Yes, that's right, Darlene, the exact same. And you don't even have to flip it. You could put all those numbers in a blender and randomly put them up there. As long as it's the same numbers, you're going to get the exact same number at the end of the day. You're still going to have that 11 million. So once again, doesn't matter what's happening during your accumulation phase, whatever the stock market does. I mean, you see a negative 38 there at the end. What if you got that at the beginning? It's irrelevant during your working period, 20, 30, 40 years.
Exactly. And something else to keep in mind too, is that while you're working, you're still contributing. So many of you, especially if you work for an employer that matches what you put in, so you're putting in money, your employer is still putting in money, even in those years where you have a loss. So many of you may not actually see what's going on truly with your account. So the main thing that we want to, as David said, show you here is that while you're working in your accumulation phase, that's when you're working. It doesn't matter what the numbers are as long as they are basically the same. Correct, David?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can put them in whatever order. You can put all the negatives up front, in the back. It's not going to matter. However,
now,
what happens when you start taking payments?
Right. So now, because the whole idea, guys, right, is that you want to walk away one day from your job. So the same situation, we're using it here. We're still looking at the S&P 500, but this time, now you're in retirement and you're going to be taking out money. We're still using, you had that $1 million that was in there that you started off with. But now you're drawing down on it, $75,000 a year. That's the example we're using. Plus, we have to factor in inflation. Remember that other storm that we don't prepare for, inflation that cuts our buying power in half. So let's look at how withdrawals and the sequence of returns will affect your money.
Exactly. So we're looking at the same 30-year period. We're looking at the first chart. Here we go. We're pulling out 4% every single year. And let's say this particular example, the policyholder passes away at 95. What's the ending value of the account?
$500,000.
Great.
$534,000. That's what the family is going to get. And David, one point I want to make before we move on and I continue is that if he continue, if this person didn't pass away and they were, continuing to live, became a centenarian, they still would have money left to live on. So a lot of people's biggest fear is, will I run out of money in retirement? This person is 95 and they're still, if they lived another 5 years, they would still have money to live on.
Sure. And so, Darlene, I would say this is a pretty fortunate retirement. You're getting payments for 30 years and something's left over to the beneficiaries. I mean, this is ideal. Regardless of the numbers, regardless if you have 500, 400, 600, you're pulling out 4%, this person should be pretty happy.
Exactly. Now, remember, we're talking about sequence of returns. So let's see what would happen if we again, and I just got to get my little screen going again, if we again reverse those returns.
Right. So the exact same exercise we did before, but now we're pulling money out. We flipped that just like we did before, but sequence of returns, when you're taking withdrawals, is one of the more important factors, unlike when it's accumulating. As you see here, you're looking at early on, there's a negative 38 there, which actually happened back, several years ago. If that happens early in your retirement, as you can see, it's very unfortunate. And this particular person only had payments for 12 years instead of 30, and their account went to zero. Nothing for their beneficiaries, nothing for them if they would live after 76 in this example.
Right. So Jeannie asked the question. She said, I think I missed something. How can I participate in this? Is this before taxes? All of this, we're assuming this account here. First of all, Jeannie, contact me and we can get more into this. What we're talking about is just during your accumulation years. We said, well, what if I max out my TSP? This person, this example here, everyone, and thank you so much, Jeannie, for that question so I can clarify because it may be some others on the line thinking the same thing. So this is a person who just has a retirement account. It could be non-qualified funds that they've just been investing in stocks and now they're trying to draw it down. This could be your TSP, my TSP millionaires out there. So this is money in your account. So if this is pre-tax money, then this $75,000 is coming out and you have to pay taxes on it. But the point we want to make here is that you are withdrawing money and you really have to it's going to, the sequence of returns will determine if you're going to be lucky, as this person is on the left side, or if you're right, or if they're going to be unlucky, the one that's shown on the left, depending on the sequence of returns. So let's just look at the environment we're in right now. Okay.
Right. So, and also, Darlene, I just think, the biggest thing for the unlucky person is the negative balances he's receiving because they're in the market. That's the biggest thing. So the point here is when you're in retirement, you're starting to liquidate that TSP or your retirement account. You can't afford market volatility. In other words, you cannot afford market risk. I think it's the biggest part of these two. You can afford it during your accumulation, as we saw, but once you start taking payments, you can't bear market risk because you could easily be one of the unlucky people. And the whole point of this exercise is there's tools out there that could mitigate against this unlucky person. There's tools out there that would eliminate those negative years to get you more to that lucky column.
Exactly, because you're going to start drawing down, but you're drawing down and the negative losses from the market are also drawing down on your account, right, David?
Yes, absolutely. So the point is, let's eliminate one of those things. You're going to have to draw it down, but let's eliminate that market volatility, which can be done.
Exactly. So now let's look a little closer at market volatility. So, excuse me, this is a research that was done by Crestmont Research. And what they wanted to do was look at the impact of losses on an investment account. And if you look up here, it says avoid losses, the gain required. So if you lose money, how much do you need to earn in order to make that money back? And so what they did was they just pointed out all of the declines that we've had in the stock market. So if we look, of course, the biggest drop was during the Great Depression, 89%. That was from 1929 to 32. But let's just move a little closer. 2000 to 2002, 49% decrease in the market. 2000 to 2002, the NASDAQ lost 78%. 2007 to 2009, 57%. Now, these were huge losses. Now, we've still had some other smaller losses in the market after 2009. But what we want to show you is that if you took a 40% loss, you need to have a 67% return on your money to get back to where you were when you first had the 40% decline. Did you all hear that? If you lose 40%, you need to earn 67% to get back to first base.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those numbers are really telling, because in the last 20 years, we've had 3 what they call black swan events, just huge market meltdowns, and 3 within 20 years. I know all of us on this call could remember that vividly. And the common conception is, if I lose 20%, it'll rebound and I'll get that 20 back. Well, you actually got to do a bit more than that. And imagine that type of hit when you're getting close to retirement, time to make that up, or even if you are in retirement and taking that distribution, as we mentioned.
Exactly. So if we look at what happened in 2007, 2009, where the market declined 57%, if you took a 50% loss, the market went down 50% right now, and you're about to leave to go out to retirement, in order for you to be made whole, you would need 100% return. 100%. That means you would need to have a gain of at least 10% for 10 years straight. So the market would have to earn 10% 10 years straight in order for you to get back to square one. I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute with you. 10 years at 10%. That's what you would have to do. Now, some of you are like, oh, well, the market is doing that now. You know, we've had a good run. We have had a good run, but we're also starting to see some volatility. Now, I don't know what's going on in the market today, but the gains for the year have already been wiped out based on what happened this week. And if you're set to retire in June, July, August, September, that's not so good a news for you. So let's take another look. The Crestmont, they looked at and said, hey, is there a way that if we could eliminate the losses, how much of the what percentage of the gain would we really need to capture if we could somehow eliminate the losses? So this vertical column here on the right, that's the percentage of the gains you would need to get. Horizontally, that's the percentage of the losses, okay? So If you wanted 100% of the gains, then that means you would be exposed to 100% of the losses, meaning you're fully in the stock market. To put it in perspective, you're fully in C, you're fully in S, you're fully in I, you're 100% in the market, okay? You're in your mutual fund. Wherever you are, you're 100% in the market because you get all the gains, but you also get all of the losses. Right, David?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Typical stock fund. So what they wanted to do is, okay, let's kind of slide to the left incrementally, and let's say we reduce risk. So, you see here, let's say we reduce risk by 60%. So let's say 60% is somewhere safe, an annuity, a bank CD, and 40% is in the market. You're going to need 70% upside to match the S&P. So all this is matching the market alone. But if you keep moving left, specifically to zero, so you eliminate all the risk in your portfolio, in your account. Zero risk, all safe products, whether it's an annuity, bonds, CDs. How much upside in the market do you have to participate in to match it? As you can see here, that number is only 28%. You only need about a third of the participation in the S&P. Once you've eliminated all the risk, you only need a third of the upside to match it. That's pretty telling, specifically with how some tools, some products today do give you that kind of participation rate in the S&P, let's say, with zero risk. So there's a common misconception that once you go into something safe, you've also given up the opportunity to get any meaningful growth. Safety equals safety. I can't earn anything. That's definitely not the case with this research. It shows you could eliminate all the risk. All you need is a third of the upside, and there are tools out there that could accomplish that.
Absolutely, they are, because remember, we're trying to weather the storm. And so a strategy to help combat the sequence of returns risk, again, this is annuities month, so we're going back to the fixed indexed annuity. And although we covered this last week, we want to go over it again because it helps in so many different instances to help you weatherproof what you are doing. So just to break it down, because, it may be a little over your head. Thank you so much, Tawana. Basically what we're saying, and I'm going to go back a little bit because I know where we may have lost a few people, and we don't want to do that. What we're just trying to get across is you don't want to expose yourself to risk in the market. That's the biggest thing, exposing yourself to risk. So this chart here is just basically showing you if you were to eliminate every loss, you don't participate in the losses, then all you would really need to capture what was going on in the S&P. So let's say the S&P or the Dow did 10%. In order for you, because you didn't have any losses, to still be on par, you would only need 2.8%, 28% of that. 2.8%. That's what it comes down to. When we go back here to this other slide here, and I want to show you when you're being unlucky, this one here, though, is very important because when you're working and when you start drawing down your money, if you take a 40% hit in your TSP, in your whatever retirement fund that you're drawing down on, this chart is showing you in order for, if you have $100,000 and you take a 40% hit, you need to get a 67% gain. That means you're going to need to earn 10% for the next 7 years. 10% for 7 years straight, just for you to get back to your 100,000. That's what this is saying, and what we're trying to get across to you today, and I hope this helps. Please let me know, Tawana, the impact of losses when you are drawing down your money can be and will be devastating to you because you're taking money, the market is taking money. So you have two people pulling from your account. You need to get it because you need to live on it. but then you have declines in the market that are eating away. Now, a lot of you on here, you've been participating in a TSP, so you remember when the market went down and you no longer wanted to open your TSP statements because you didn't want to see the bad news that was waiting for you on there. And now you're getting closer to retirement. And what we're trying to let you know is that you don't have to lose sleep like that anymore. There are options, there are options that are out there that can help you. And that's what we're going over now, the fixed, and I'm just going through here because we've been through it. The fixed indexed annuity helps you. This right here is just a graph. And what I want to equate this graph to is just imagine you're taking a trip, okay? And you're flying. We're going to the Bahamas because I've been hearing a lot of people saying they're going to the Bahamas and I need a vacation too. And thank you all for hanging in here. We're almost done. So this blue line right here, if I can get it, this right here is actually the S&P 500. Now we're all going to end up in the Bahamas. Now for those of you in this green line right here, the green one, this is a person participating in a fixed indexed annuity, specifically with Nationwide. And it can be any of the ones that we have. And some of you on the line, you have this plan, and I want you to see the importance of it. So the blue line is you're in the market 100%, and you're on the plane. Any of you have been on the plane and they had some turbulence and the plane dropped a little bit? Now you still get to your destination safely, but let me ask you, which one of these flights would you rather be on? This one here, where you're in the market, and you're up and woo, you flying along, you ascending perfectly, going to your destination and whoop, and you holding on, clutching the arm rest, looking at your neighbor in the other chair. That's what's happening in the market. You're still going to get to where you're going, but when you get there, you rattled. Versus you take the green flight here, and it's just smooth sailing. Why? Because you're not taking any of those dips. So when the other people on this airline that are in the market, they're praying and holding on and can't hardly rest, eyes wide open, praying for the pilot, praying for themselves. You don't have that to worry about because you don't even know it's trouble out in the sky. You don't even know it's bad weather in the clouds. Why? Because we have eliminated the risk. And so I hope that helps. If you still have some questions, please reach out to us so we can clear it up for you. We're just here. I want to make sure that you understand you don't have to fall victim to the downturns in the market. There are tools and strategies, as David mentioned, that are out here that can eliminate that. The things that keep you up at night, if worrying about having enough money or what's going to happen with another downturn in the market, we can help eliminate that. So, David, did you have something else you wanted to add?
No, that's absolutely right. And I mean, if you want to look at that graph one more time, also, what if you were one of the unfortunate people that were retiring in 2009, 2010, 2011? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it'd be possible where here you've eliminated the risk. And as you can see, you're still participating in market gains. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. There are products that could accomplish both.
And I see Rita has jumped back in, but she's muted. And I don't know how to unmute her. So let me try. Oh, she said no. So as we move on, I appreciate you all. And if you have questions, send them to me. I don't want to leave you with any confusion or questions in your mind. You can type them in right now or call us, email us, and we will get it answered. We want to make sure this is information you understand because we're doing this for you. So we asked, which retirement picture would you prefer? Do you want this stormy one where you are on that flight that was in the market and you're going up and down, up and down? You know you're going to make a landing, but where? How? How's that ride? Do you ride with a pit in your stomach? Or would you prefer this where it's smooth sailing, the skies are blue? You don't have any worries about what's going on because you know you're going to be safe and sound and enjoying your money. More importantly, is going to be safe and sound and not taking that roller coaster ride of the stock market. I don't know what Rita is showing. So that's that. So which would you prefer? Because both of these, they're at the beach, but one is experiencing some stormy weather, that unlucky person, and the other one is the lucky one because they made some important decisions. So how can we help at Affordable Benefit Solutions? We can help you with the planning for your life. We can help you and we can answer questions for you, ask questions of you to help you imagine your life in retirement. We can help you with your budgeting, identify sources of retirement income that you have and help you build some new ones. We can help with account management, establishing IRAs, Roth IRAs, helping with rollovers, establishing a suitable withdrawal plan for you. That's the biggest thing. Help you with required minimum distributions. Also, portfolio management. What products should you have? Tax considerations as you're investing and withdrawing. So what's going to be right for you? Everyone on this line is different. So please contact Rita, myself today in our office so that we can help map out a plan, for you. Planning is just bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it right now. So please give us a call. You can reach us in our office at 301-577-6340, or you can email us at info@YourABSolutions Inc. We thank you so much for your time. I know our time is up, but please let us help you chart your course. And there is our contact information. We appreciate you hanging on here. If you have any questions for myself, for David, please type them in right now. Let us know. We appreciate you. And stay dry this weekend too, you all. Any questions? Juana, did that help? Okay, so I don't see any questions. So we're going to sign off and say bye. I appreciate everyone participating. Thank you so much. And you all enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, we got a question, or let's see what we got going on here. Okay, I'll have Rita call you. Not a problem. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Friday.